Hello everyone and welcome back to Packs and Recreation. And today we are back to Trick and Trade. So, when I recorded the other one, the first one, I was like, yeah, they're not making this again. Apparently, I was very wrong. And here we are. So, so let's open one for the sake of the spirit of spooky traditions, which, mind you, as I said with the last one, spooky surprises lurk inside. Pam, 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 pam. Share Pokemon fun and excitement on the spookiest night of the year with a bundle of booster packs. Inside you will find 35 mini packs, each containing 3 colorful cards from the Pokemon TCG. So again, this is kind of cheap, nothing of value here. This is for you to give to the kids. I will be very surprised if there is anything of value here. I haven't seen the card list, but there is not. Right, so this is a cute little gimmick, which is what I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, that they kept doing it. Like, because to be fair, they could just reprint the same, right? And because it doesn't matter, like the chances of you giving the same kid the same cards are not, But plus the cards in or the Pokemon being featured are the same, which is interesting because there is a lot of ghost Pokemon. So it is and dark Pokemon, right? So creepy Pokemon. So it's not like, there is a lack of Pokemon for us to be like, ooh, creepy. So in case you're new to this, basically it contains 2 cards. Last time it was 2 cards, one of them was foil. Not much value here. Some of the Poke cards are reprints, and they have this big orange Pikachu jack-o'-lantern thing. Because, this is for kids, right? This is for kids and Halloween. So, not for you to do like a PSA 10 thing, right? But still, it doesn't mean that it can't be badass. Look at this dark ray right there, baby. So, it's basically everything that is a dark Pokemon or a ghost Pokemon. Or this has some creepy visuals, I say. And it's just 3 cards, right? So what I find funny is that I can imagine this being kind of hot in the US. Like, people going like, ooh, trick or trade, right? In this case, trick or trade instead of trick or treat. But, right, it's a ghost to get it. So, but in Europe and other parts of the world, Halloween is a thing, but it's not the same thing. Like, ironically, I think some countries have adopted the traditions of Halloween because of popular media and, globalization and all that. Mimikyu, let's go. But, some of those countries actually, it says copyright 2023, so half of these are the cards from last year, and half of this is 2024. So half of these are cards from this year. So I guess this year is a cheaper product. They just need to repack it. Ironically, some countries go harder on Halloween than the US, because they adopted it and they really go about it, right? Like, oh my god, we love Halloween. And it also, nice Gengar. And also it depends on the family, right? Like some families really like Halloween and some others don't care. And it really depends on how you think about Halloween, I think. Some families think about Halloween in a very, for example, for me, Halloween is creepy stuff, right? Creepy, cool stuff. Because I like it. If you have Mexican heritage, it's also tied to Dia de los Muertos, which to a degree it shares a root with All Hallows Eve, right? Because normally for the night is All Hallows Eve, and then the next day is All Saints Day, right? So one is a pagan thing and the other is a Christian. One is a pagan celebration, the other is a Christian celebration. So, sure, it's creepy, I guess. So let's put Ogerpon there. And Quaxley is creepy, I guess. At this point, they just went like, put anything, like just put more Pokemon in there. Put popular Pokemon, doesn't matter. Put the starters. Everyone loves the starters. The other one was the first one was a little bit more thorough with like what constitutes as a creepy Pokemon, and Quaxley would not be in a creepy Pokemon list by any measurement. Like F me, like it wouldn't. So Phantom, Monkey Dory, and Litwick. So yeah, basically, I think it depends on what you seek out of it. Some people see it as this solemn, creepy day. Some people see it as a pretext to vandalize stuff. Okidogi, which I guess it counts because it's a guardian. So I guess this year they wanted to put more variety of types instead of everything being dark and psychic, because ghost doesn't exist as a type, so it kind of, you know what, I'm struggling here for no reason. The two main ones, jeez, so the two main ones, this one's here and this goes here and this goes here, and there you go. So some people see it as a pretext to do scary stuff, like watching scary movies or just go spelunking on weird places. How is this a creepy serendipity, I guess? Trevenant. I guess they're going like that because of Shrouded Fable, which you could see that Shrouded Fable is kind of spooky and all that, right? Fuecoco, Pikachu. Well, Pikachu is always there. Like you can't. Is the patron saint, and Sprigatito, right? So I think they went with the starters, some guardians from Shrouded Fable because I guess it looks creepy, and everything that looks creepy. Like does this look creepy? Yeah, put it there. Now, I am not that familiar with tournament rules on Pokemon, but I don't know. I guess you can just play with this. The Pikachu Jack-o'-lantern thing doesn't matter. But interesting nonetheless. One thing I have to say, maybe they did this for the second edition so that if you buy a box of this for you or your kid, it's not as boring to open, because if you see the first video, it wasn't boring because, I mean, you and I were together and having a good time in this ASMR opening channel, but it wasn't the most exciting, right? Because we got the same 5 cards over and over and over, and then an eventual Pikachu from time to time. So it wasn't like a crazy thing. Here you get more different things because, again, let's be honest, depending on your country and your family traditions, you either buy these for the kids in your neighborhood, and then you give them cards instead of candy, which I will argue, like I said this in the last video, like I will argue this is better because it's not as harmful as the great amounts of sugar that those kids are going to be eating, but is as addicting, if not more, right? Because, I mean, there's a reason why we call this a cardboard addiction, right? So I think, I think that's kind of, you're switching one thing for the other. So you're switching sugar for cardboard crack. So that's what it is. So for water is only Quaxley, and for fire you have more stuff because of Chandelure and all that. But Fuecoco is always there. We pull the 3 starters. I guess that, yeah, if you buy these for your kid, right, or for yourself because of Halloween, and you want to just open boosters during the night of Halloween in your house, right? I mean, just have it as a bonding moment, or just while you watch a slasher movie or something. Then this second edition is a little bit more varied. You have a lot more Pokemon to choose from here and a lot more types. So it doesn't feel as pointless as an endeavor. But then again, I will argue, again, you're not going to pull anything here. Like, there are no full art cards, there are no, super duper edition cards, there are nothing here. It's just, you get a foil in every booster, and then, which is like sparkly foil, like a promo, and then you get some other, like 2 normal cards, and that's it. From time to time, you may see a Pikachu, and period. So it's an interesting debate to be had. Was the other a better product for what it was supposed to be created, right? So the other was supposed to be a product for you to have, so that you give the kids in your neighbor when you go trick or treat, you give them cards, and that will make you either the cool adult or the nerd adult, and they will just toilet paper and egg your house because you're a nerd, right? Although I think those times have passed to a degree. If they haven't for you, stand your ground, brother. We nerds and geeks are ruling the world. So be strong. Don't let anyone judge you because of the things that you like. What you like doesn't make you any less of a person, unless you're a YouTuber and you like kids, in which case, yes, that makes you less of a person. But like, you liking Pokemon, liking cars, liking video games, liking books, that doesn't make you worse than any of the other kids that are like making fun of you, or people that are making fun of you. Kids can be cruel sometimes. I think kids are the most cruel version of humans because they don't have any filter, and they are just a reflection of the environment they are raised on, right? So, and sometimes even if they are very well raised, sometimes they just don't see the problem in what they're saying, like, oh yeah, and they say very hurtful things. So remember, kids are kids. Even if you are a kid yourself, just keep liking your things, work towards, being able to support yourself and buying your things. That's what life is about. Just having a peaceful life with your hobbies and the things that you like, and, not spewing hate at others just because they like something that you don't like, unless we're talking about, YouTubers and kids. But like, overall normal hobbies, again, what is a normal hobby, right? I will say that a normal hobby is anything that brings you happiness and peace that doesn't cause harm or trouble to another human being, right? So it can be cards, it can be video games, it can be writing fan fiction of Harry Potter, like whatever it is that it brings you peace, as long as you're not harming other people or making fun of others, or then that's a worth way of living, and you do you, right? That's the whole. Almost there, by the way. This is pretty fast. So don't let anyone bully you. Like, if you like Halloween and you like trick or treating and dressing up, or you're an adult and you're like, I want my house to be like the scariest house on Halloween. You do you, man. Just be happy. Do your thing. Anything, it's a very Japanese philosophy, right? Since we're talking Pokemon here, let me pull Japanese philosophy here. Anything that you're going to do it the best that you can. Try to be the very best at anything that you do. That's the best way in which you can tackle anything in life. Try to be the very best, like no one ever was, right? Like Ash Ketchum. And just, enjoy life. The way this booster is repeated, like they are not random. There's like the same booster X amount of times. Last booster, by the way. So as you can see, there are some cards that are less likely to appear than others, and overall, the boosters are preordained. Like, once you get the first card, you already know what you're gonna pull. So that's okay. I don't know the pattern that they follow for that, but it's kind of okay. As you can see, the logic's still there. So Psychic / Ghost / Fairy Pokemon are and Dark Pokemon are the majoritary stakeholders. And then you have some fire, some grass, because they are creepy stuff, creepy Pokemon or ghost Pokemon that share types. But now we have fighting Pokemon because of Okidogi, and some more fire Pokemon, and Pikachu is always there, and Quaxley is here because they included the starters, right? So they really went the route of Shrouded Fable, because Shrouded Fable is scary apparently, and that's the way that they went with it. So overall, as a solo product kind of thing, like you opening stuff in your house, I think is better than the previous years. So the 2024 one is better than 2023. Because, rating the cards is pointless. You can get these cards a lot cheaper, unless you really like the Pikachu Jack-O-Lantern, in which case, you do you. But So it really comes down to what it is. It's a cheap product on purpose. You're supposed to give those away, right? So I like be the cool adult and just give away Pokemon cards. Why not? Spread the hobby. But the last year's one felt more like something that you were supposed to give to kids, that or people overall that knock on your door on Halloween, because it repeated a lot. But that was kind of the point. It was cheap because it's not for you; it's for you to give other people, and there is nothing that brings more joy than the gift of giving, right? So, and then this one feels more balanced. Like they saw a lot of YouTubers opening the stuff, and we're like, oh, okay, let's just shift a little bit. So you get more variety here than in the past in terms of types, and But so I feel this is better for self-opening, but I could see a person opening some of these in Halloween and going like, why did I get a Quaxley and a Fuecoco, or like I don't remember the boosters because they are pretty much always the same format of booster, right? It's like Fuecoco, Pikachu, and Okidogi, and it's like, I guess this one looks creepy. I mean, so it kind of goes against the vibe. I know that Pokemon is for kids and it's not supposed to be like, ooh, scary, but like we have ghost Pokemon, right? So that's kind of the idea. But yeah, overall, that's kind of the review. I think last year's was better for a giving thing, and this one is better for you to open alone. So pick your edition, like having friends or having no friends at all. But this one also works as a giving thing, right? I think it's just more varied, and therefore you can just give one and the kid happens to open one that gives them like Fuecoco and Sprigatito and Pikachu, and it's like, well, okay, I guess. So yeah, but that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Happy Halloween, happy scares. Remember, you do you. Don't let anyone bully you into not enjoying your hobbies. And as usual, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you next time on the channel that you already liked and subscribed, which is this one, Packs and Recreation. Bye.